Hello, everyone. This is Melissa with Elite Nurse, and today we'll be learning about wound care certification comparisons. This is a review of different certs I've looked into. So, why did I choose to find certification? Well, let me tell you. First, I wanted to learn more than what my employer could provide in house. In-services were not enough, and with not many nurses to bounce ideas with, I decided to look into a certification to grow my knowledge base with reputable, legitimate organizations who are obviously accredited. A certification for nurses in a specialty does demonstrate expertise in their practice, and we are competent professionals in the field. There are different practices you can sit for an exam and test, such as for the emergency department, the pediatric ward, oncology, infectious disease, and medical surgical nursing, just to name a few. But today, we'll talk about wound care. For those nurses that want to seek more education in wound care, there are various organizations that will recognize you with certification. So let's get started. So I've condensed it to 3 organizations. The first one is the Wound Ostomy and Continence Nursing Certification Board, or otherwise the WOCNCB. They have the CWCN or Certified Wound Care Nurse. You can also test for other scopes, such as ostomy and foot management. So in order to be eligible, you do have to be a bachelor prepared nurse. This organization is accredited by the ABNSC. They do provide a pathway, and you do have to enroll for school again. So if you just finished college or then university, or you just passed NCLEX, it might feel like you're going back to school again. So depending on what type of certification, the course can take about a quarter or a semester. Certifications under the WOCNCB does provide deep education in theory and critical thinking skills for the RN. Courses are rigorous and intense because they teach so much material during a short period of time. There are 2 pathways: experimental and traditional. Clinicals are included, and you do about 40 hours of clinicals depending on how many specialties you want to certify on, such as you want to do an ostomy or continence or the foot management. That's an additional 40 for each. If you are an experienced nurse, you do need to accumulate contact hours and provide over 1,500 hours of direct patient care. All of this is required just to sit for an exam. So it does take time and effort. The next one was the National Alliance of Wound Care and Ostomy. They are also accredited through the NCCA. The certification is the WCC, otherwise the Wound Care Certified. So RNs have to graduate from a wound management education course, but their minimum is only 20-hour coursework. This organization does not recommend or provide coursework, so just keep that in mind. And nurses need experience of 120 hours of clinical training with an organization and an approved preceptor, or 2 years of full-time approved wound care direct patient care. So all of that counts. There was no mention if you're an associate's or bachelor's prepared nursing, and this organization does allow for other professionals to get certified as well, such as doctors, physical therapists, and even your LVNs. And other certifications, just like the previous organization we talked about, you can certify for ostomy, diabetic wounds, nutrition, and lymphedema, just to name a few. And lastly, the last organization I looked into was the American Board of Wound Management, and they have a certified wound specialist, or CWS. They are also accredited through the NCCA. In order to sit for this exam, you must be an RN with 3 years of clinical wound care experience. They don't provide you with any raw materials, and sometimes nurses seek their own educational resources through conferences, or they pay for exam review courses. Other specialties can also sit for the exam as well, like doctors, pharmacists, and our LVNs. So, all organizations do provide content outline so you can focus your study on the areas of wound care. I recommend that you check their websites for more information. These are certs. I narrowed it down when selecting information for certification on wound care. But at the end of the day, it depends on you, what you want to choose, what level of nursing you're currently in. That grants you your eligibility as well. Also, your means and how much work, time, effort, and money you're willing to spend. So, with that thought, thanks everyone for watching. You can send your comments below and subscribe to my page. I hope this review is very, very helpful to you guys. Thanks.